Alright, welcome to Cobalt Black Gaming, the channel where I play a different indie game every day to show you guys those hidden and not so hidden gems. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a little game called Out of Time. This is a survivor-like, a 3D multiplayer survivor-like roguelite. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it. You come in here, and you are in hub world after you start. There's many different mounts. Right now, the stock one you get is a hoverboard, which is pretty cool. And so far, the game doesn't have a whole lot, but what it does have is pretty interesting. So, your abilities when you play in a round are based on your equipment, right? So I come here, this is my weapon. It has my auto attack, mode swap, because it's technically a healing weapon. I don't really use it for that, but I can. And then just a giant beam that I can shoot at stuff. Your accessories, these just are stat sticks. Your hat is important. It's passive, so this accumulates global damage for each enemy killed, and the effect has diminishing returns. Then you have your chest piece, which I've noticed is usually some sort of very high damaging ability. Right now, I have dragon form. I turn into a dragon and I spray everything with fire. It's pretty awesome. But a different chest piece might have axe storm, where they summon axes that rotate around them, okay? And then you have your boots. This is almost always some sort of movement skill, so this is a dash, whereas this is a bull charge. And then if we came over here, this is a leap. I keep my dash because my dash has a heal on it, so that's some nice utility. The equipment does have sets, and if you put all the set together, you increase the amount of, well, for this one, it's increasing the amount of gold collected and increasing my armor, but if I were to do this one, it's increased the amount of healing power. So you have set bonuses. I haven't really been interacting with the set bonuses, and I'll tell you why. They require all 4 pieces of active gear to make the set bonus, and I don't know, I favor kind of having a more balanced character than that. Now, the reason I think they did it that way is because this game it is centered around multiplayer. Okay, so it is trying to get people to do multiplayer. I have not experimented with the multiplayer, and I'm probably not going to today, but we'll see what that ends up being like. So, you can come over here to upgrade your gear. There are materials you find in the level. You come over here and you hit level up, and it will increase the power of your gear, and eventually you can increase the rarity to higher and higher levels, almost getting to legendary, or eventually getting to legendary. Here, you can come here to change your mount. So this is, again, the stock one you start with, but there are all sorts of different mounts that you can pick. So that's pretty cool. And then we come over here. This is where you can further customize your avatar. So, right, I have the kind of, it's just a default guy, and, you know, you can change your hair color, your eye color, skin color, and then you have different kind of outfits and presets you can go with. So, you know, I'm just this guy right now, and the reason I have anything on is my armor, but certain armor sets, when you get them to legendary or something, will give you a whole appearance, including a different appearance of your character. So that's something to kind of like look forward to and kind of push to gain unlock. So we're going to jump on in here into a level. I have not done the farmlands. We are going to, yeah, we'll do the farmlands. We're going to leave it on private. Actually, you know, we're going to do the wasteland because I want another one of these. We'll see if we can get a good one. So we're going to hop on in here, and it is very much so Survivor-like. It is not... So I know it is a 3D Survivor-like, and a lot of people are probably instantly thinking Mega Bonk. Do not know. Do not think that. This is... Any of you have ever heard of or played Dwarven Realms? This is Dwarven Realms, and a survivor like had a baby, and this is what you get. So my weapon does AoE damage, and our goal here is to clear the level. So we came in here, and we immediately have to start clearing out this, like, distortion. You see all that smog in the distance? Yeah, so our aura clears that out. So that's what we are going to go for. And the way to finish the level is by defeating the boss. You get the boss to spawn by clearing out, I believe, at least 75% of the level. And as you clear out the level, you can see things spawn, things attack you, and you're kind of dealing with getting rid of said things. So I probably should have picked a more active weapon. Because this is an AoE weapon, I kind of just wander around with it going, and then I have my, like, death beam that deals a lot of damage. This weapon is a lot better for, team play. And we're going to increase our global damage. We'll take that. This weapon's a lot better for team play. Again, a lot of this game is designed around team play. I, however, like this weapon solo because it does decent enough damage. If I need to, I can change it to heal me, which is also nice to be able to do. Yeah, it's mostly the AoE damage and the fact that it can heal me is what makes me want this weapon. But it's not all about the weapon. We also have, in this case, this is my chest piece that gives me this power, where I just turn into a massive dragon and spew fire all over the place, and eventually things are no longer living when I'm done with that form. So it's pretty cool.
Reward secured.
And in much survivor likes these days, most survivor likes these days, you have kind of things you can do, little events on the map. So I just did like a kind of treasure event where it spawns something around me and says, you know, you got to kill all of these guys and then you'll get the treasure. The treasure is usually an upgrade card. Upgrade cards are what you use mid-run to upgrade, so it's that roguelite element that you see happening when I level up. And getting extra of those is pretty nice. So basically, doing that event was the equivalent of a level up for me, which is pretty good. Now, you cannot get on your mount when there are enemies around, but if I were to actually really sit down, try to hunker down and clear out all these enemies, I theoretically could get on my mount here and ride around. I just don't half the time. Alright, we just got ambushed. I've never seen this event before. I'm only about an hour into this game, maybe 2. I picked it up today, and I've been having a pretty good time so far. I really do like the whole build system. I kind of wish it wasn't necessarily linked to your armor. Or if it was, again, because I'm playing solo and not with a group, I wish armor sets, there were like 2-piece armor sets, so that I could have set bonuses active without kind of going all in on one thing, right? Because I could have gone all in on healing for this build, but then I wouldn't have the damage I have, especially from the hat, right? The hat that gives passives that affect what you gain when you level. So right here, this is my hat passive, right? Passively increases the damage when killing enemies. So that's huge, right? So why am I trying to add that to a set bonus? Because now what's happening is I would love to take that passive and slam it onto the healer set, and then boom, now I have healing, but I have just enough damage that if I'm playing solo I can get by. Where in this case, you don't have that. You just kind of have to accept, like, I've just accepted I'm not constructing a set of armor. It's just not happening. I will not be using set bonuses, which is okay. I still seem to be clearing just fine and doing damage just fine.
Ambush.
And I think, you know, it is that classic mixed set kind of Monster Hunter vibe of, yeah, the set bonus could be really good, but if you mix this set, you can get pretty good results. I've been getting pretty dang good results. So we take those. We are going to... Yeah, we're going to take that. Take the vibe check. Yeah, so far, I've been enjoying it. I think a big thing with this game that I would definitely recommend if you're looking at playing it, and like you can probably hear it based on what I've been saying so far, it is much more appealing if you have friends to play it with.
10 minutes remaining.
And I think playing it solo might not be the best. Just because so many of these systems in this game seem to be designed around parties. Now, you can do quick play, and that will just shove you into an available group. However, I think the issue currently with it is it is not matchmaking based on, like, gear score or anything. So you can kind of accidentally end up quick playing into an area that you are not prepared for. And then, you know, nobody wants that. You show up, you're just dying all over the place. That's not fun. That's not cool. So I think they definitely need to kind of, like, tighten up how that matchmaking is working. And you know what? Maybe that has been fixed, but that would have had to have been fixed in, like, the last 2 days. So, you know, I definitely take what I'm saying with a grain of salt. I have not explored everything in this game. However, it definitely seems very, very multiplayer focused. And it seems like it would be a decent experience for that, though. Like, whereas things are designed to be done that way, it seems like that would be a generally good experience to have. And if that is the kind of thing you like, and your friends like, especially... Alright, let's just destroy everything here. Bad vibes. Take that. Okay. Alright, we got all of them killed, so we get some treasure. Ooh! Okay, what is the card? Ability Evolution. Good Vibes 2. Automatically heals allies. No. We're gonna go with the crit damage. See, I'm not going back and collecting everything because I'm waiting till I get a magnet, but I've definitely found that to be... Some levels I have gotten like 10 magnets, and other levels I have seen none. So it is definitely a gamble. Alright, let's take that out. Let's take this one out. I do love that beam, though. That gets work done. Okay? And that's the thing, right? Is the level of, okay, yeah, I don't have set bonuses. I seem to be doing just fine, guys. So, I don't know if you necessarily need the set bonuses. It's a cool idea. They're fun. And especially as, like, an avid MMO player, those are definitely fun. I like the idea of that. I don't think it's necessary. I am absolutely loving turning into a dragon and just destroying my enemies that way, though. That's super cool. That's kind of, I think, at least a highlight of this game for me so far, is the type of abilities you can get just from your gear.
The boss has fallen.
You know, you see these different types of... Oh boy, we're about to fight a boss. you see these different types of abilities, and it's like, hey, where did you get that? And it's like, oh, dude, it's this chest piece. You want to go over here to grab it. Like, I think that is a really cool system and a good way to foster a mentality of like cooperation and wanting to play with people and things like that. All right, so this is the boss. I've not fought this one before. We're just gonna keep ramming into it as a dragon and hope that our fire damage is enough to kind of give it a problem. Alright, we're hurting it. I think it's already almost half health. Yeah, that is what I do love about the dragon ability that I got on my chest piece. It is real good for pretty much any kind of damage. It works great on bosses. It works great on random enemies, especially like you've seen me just clear half the field with it. So it is a really good time. Let's see if we can finish this off with another Kamehameha. There we go. All right. So that was a run. And, oh, yes. Okay, so this is very similar to the dragon one, where it gives you a bike that has guns on it. Probably won't replace the dragon one for me. But, you know, if dragons and fantasy aren't your flavor that you like, then you can go with Wasteland Raider. I think that is actually the best thing about this game, right? You know, it's called Out of Time. The whole premise of this game is time travel. So no matter what kind of motif you want or flavor of fantasy you want, you can probably find it here. There are a lot of different archetypes and things you can see, which is pretty cool. I highly enjoy that. So we're going to go in and we're going to do one more. I have not done the power plant yet. Do we want to do the power plant? Oh, that's a cool fist weapon. I'm not sure I want to do the power plant. I think we're going to go back in time. And I think we can do either the Dark Forest or the Dwarven Mountains. Yeah, let's do the Dwarven Mountains. I kind of want to get this spear and see how it plays. That is one thing I've definitely seen in this game where I feel like melee is underwhelming. And like I could be wrong, but especially like looking around even the hub area, it appears to me that a lot of people went with the ranged option.
Press the button to start your run. 5.
So I feel like melee either needs some more built-in tankiness or something, or like more, it needs more move speed for clearing the gaps, right? Because what I've noticed when at the beginning of the game starts you with an axe, and then I went sword and board because I was trying to make like a paladin kind of thing. And what I noticed was I was slow, and so what was happening was ranged enemies could effectively kite me unless I used an ability. So I was popping like major cooldowns to kill minor annoyance enemies because they were just kind of pinging me from a distance, and every time I tried to get close to them, they would run away. So, and you know, that might just be like a beginning of the game build issue. That might go away later, but I feel like on average, if you're gonna have things like that where enemies are running away from you, and you're also gonna have melee exist in the game, have a way to deal with that a bit better. Because I really just felt like I was chasing these enemies and not getting anywhere sometimes. Let's get rid of you. Okay, we're not gonna get rid of you. Where are the rest of the parts? Oh, right here. Maybe, maybe not. You know what we're gonna do? We are going to... no, we'll upgrade this guy. We're gonna magnet, and I'm wondering if the magnets break in the parts for you. No, they don't. That's unfortunate. Okay, well, I just couldn't find the other parts. These things happen. Alright, where is the slime? You are directly behind me, sir.
Slow is available.
Okay, we are going to hopefully effectively handle this slime. That is another thing I will say, is these areas are the same every time. That is what I have noticed. I have noticed that every single time I come into an area, it is exactly the same layout with the same, like, event spawns. Like, I knew there was a slime there. I knew bad things were going to happen to me once I destroyed the thing near the slime. Which is just, like, another layer of why is this not, I don't know, at least a little more random. Because it definitely, like, I shouldn't have only played for an hour or so and already have, like, an area memorized, right? I don't think that's, great on the game design front.
50%
so that's one of the things I definitely want to do, and I'll probably end up posting a comment after I do try out multiplayer just to see what it's like. Because again, I think the more I keep playing this game, the more I'm like, okay, this feels like it was definitely designed with loops in mind and not really much catering to the single player experience, which I think is, I'm not gonna say fine. I think you kind of, if you're gonna make a game, you have to recognize that I feel like the majority of your players are going to be single players. You know, I have my group of friends that I play a lot of games with, but like on top of that, with, you know, having a game cater to multiple people is now like, all right, could I convince all my friends, hey, this is the next game we're playing, like, go ahead and buy this? And I'm not sure I could with this one. So I think they definitely, even if a lot of this feels better in multiplayer, they need to have it cater as well to single player, and also on top of it, have it, the matchmaking, be better than what I've read about the matchmaking so far. Again, that is, take that one with a grain of salt. I have not actually matchmade myself. Actually, no, that's not true. I have tried to matchmake for specific missions to no avail. Just nobody's playing the lobby missions, I guess. I feel like everybody probably picked this game up, and all of the people that are, you know, into it are far and away onto the more difficult content, and everybody else probably stopped playing rather quickly, I would imagine. I like, it seems like it's one of those situations where it's probably very polarized. Oh, boo, the slime ran away. I do love the dragon thing, though, especially because I can just kind of cross areas. Right. And I do like the whole material harvesting aspect of it. I think that's a really good way to do the kind of meta progression through gear, because this basically has two systems of meta progression. It was the system I showed you where you could buy stat boosts, and then you have your gear, which, you know, obviously you take that out of a run, it persists, so therefore that is meta progression. Which is, I think, what a lot of roguelites are turning to more and more, which I find very funny. Because it felt like at the beginning of, you know, roguelikes being popular and things, it was getting away from having a gear system and stuff like that. And now I feel like we've come full circle to, okay, so now it's, you know, what's desirable is the gear system. It is the more intricate meta progression within the system, which I just find that super interesting. It's really cool to kind of watch how these trends are changing. Because, you know, the more that you look at it, man, roguelites feel like they're folding back and just becoming regular games. Like, except the only difference is you die, you start over. But everything else is like, yeah, okay, we have gear now, we have skill trees now, we have all that. Actually, how much damage am I doing? Oh, I'm doing a decent clip. Okay. Yeah, let's just fly forward and get out of here. Increases speed in heal mode. I don't care about that. We're gonna go with you. Because more damage is more damage. You take those. Alright. And the nice part is material collecting and meta progression. If I were to die right here, I would get the materials I've collected at the very least, which is nice. Because then you can kind of come on and farm if you need to. You know, if you're stuck somewhere, you can farm to get over it.
Double damage available.
Okay, this is... I need to get out of this whole area. You know what?
Double damage.
I was gonna just try to run away from this horde, but what if I just killed it? What if I took everyone in it and made sure they were dead? There we go. Now that's gaming. Alright, that is the end over there. I don't know what's up here. We'll see.
5% penal remaining until boss.
Or I guess technically that's not the end. It depends on where you finish the percentage remaining.
All the enemies.
Can I have my dragon? Can I have my dragon?
Slow.
Hey!
Gilded slime appeared.
Gilded slime, huh? I need the money. The money's meta progression. I gotta take it. Alright, that is the extent of my cooldowns that I can use to hurt this thing. I'm more worried about the money than I am about that treasure. I do want my money.
Reward lost.
That's fine. That's okay. We're fine with those. The slime's gonna run away, which is gonna be the sad part. Hey!
Defeated.
Nice. Okay, we got the slime. That is fine that we lost the reward. Getting the slime was the goal. I've never been up here, so this is interesting. And I guess that is where... Well, no. I was gonna say I guess that is where variety comes in, but it's not. This level is exactly the same as it was the first time. I just didn't have to go up here because I hit my boss is approaching on a different platform in a different area. Helter Smelter. So this is the boss. It is a giant, well, blacksmithing machine? A giant smelter, I guess. Right? It's in the name. That is the one thing I dislike about this particular weapon, is like the AoE I find great for clearing mobs. It's abysmal for boss because I'm trying to stay out of the boss's range of attack. Alright, let's make sure you are getting smelted, the guy. Okay, let's heal me a bit. Oh. Okay, you're immune. Means this guy comes out. God, my cooldowns are so long on this. I mean, it's partly because two of my abilities have nothing to do with damage is part of the problem. If I went more damage focused, it would probably feel a little bit better. By probably, I mean almost 100%. Like, definitely. But I've gotten more clears with this build than I was with my Berserker build, so you know, we take what wins. And I really hate that you went immune right as I turned. That was... Oh, that's so annoying. Okay. You're gonna go away, and now you're gonna... Yeah. Alright, we should be able to get in one more. Or is this a joke? I don't even... Every time I get a damage ability up, it goes immune. Insane. This is crazy work. This dragon form has a shield, but the shield can get eaten through. Okay, cool. We've done the boss. And now we have our victory. Hell yeah. And we got another Warhelm. This is okay. Sure, I'll take it. Why not? But yeah, guys, so that was Out of Time. You know, after playing it for my amount of time I've spent with it, it is one of those games where if you have a group of friends and you all really like survivor likes and you know, that kind of gameplay, it's definitely worth it. If you're a solo player and you're much more of an indie survivor like fan, I don't think this hits. In my opinion, it does not, right? It is fun with certain things, but it is very much so, again, A, centered around group play, and B, it is very much so one of those things where, you know, the replayability to me doesn't feel like it's there. Now there were a bunch of time periods I hadn't hit, a bunch of stuff I haven't unlocked. So take that with a grain of salt. But I also look at the simple fact that that doesn't necessarily mean replayability. That just means a lot of things to do for a while, but that doesn't necessarily make you want to replay it. I do think that it's cool that this game does not have microtransactions. All of those mounts, all of the cosmetics and things are done via in-game achievements, so that's really dope. Currently, this game is available on the Epic Store. I'll have a link to it in the description. I did see a post somewhere where they were saying they are trying to put it on Steam. So if you are one of those people who absolutely will not deal with the Epic Store, you know, you can wait a little bit and you should be able to get it on Steam. But yeah, so far, currently this game's $25. And for me, I gotta give it like a 6 out of 10. It really is one of those things where I think a lot is missing from it. But if you want just a good time to run around and you have friends that you want to play it with, then this seems like a good idea. Anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. If you got to this point in the video, a like and a sub would be very much so appreciated. I'm trying to grow the channel. Every little bit helps. And I will be back tomorrow with another video. Peace out. Oh, yeah, so another thing too is I'm gonna start kind of giving my opinion at the end of the video of whether, you know, these games are worth the price they come at, and kind of the pros and cons, or what you would see by getting the game. You know, just to kind of give people more of a concrete, would I recommend this or not? You know, I think I'm gonna try to do that with all of my videos going forward, so there'll be like a little mini review at the end.